Hello, what's up, and welcome to an episode of Versus right here on JumpInsideGames. And today we'll be versus Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. In this, we'll be doing fighting, hacking, lockpicking, game introductions, map settings, and dialogue options. But we're not going to be including Vegas in this list, as some of you may have noticed already as I've started this video, because I think that game is just a bit too similar to Fallout 3 for the stuff that I'm going to be including. Apart from the fact that it has perks, survival skills, and factions, but the actual gameplay is basically the same as Fallout 3. But the story of New Vegas is just way better. If there's a game with more choices, I would say Vegas probably wins. So if you're looking for a Fallout game with more choices, Vegas is the direction to go to, because as soon as you get to the city of New Vegas, the story starts to expand in a lot more directions. So what we're doing is we'll be sticking with Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, even though those stories are more linear. Those are the games that I've got the most completion data and I've got more familiar with, so I will be doing those two games against each other today. So without no further ado, let's get started with today's video. So starting off with the fighting, and basically we're going to be talking about weapons, VATs, and of course power armor. When it comes to weapons, I like both games. Personally, I like Fallout 4 just a little bit better because basically it's more accurate when it comes to gun shooting, and also all the weapons are displayed a lot nicer. Yes, Fallout 3 has some real cool guns, but I just think Fallout 4 does it a little bit better. Also, with Fallout 4 compared to Fallout 3, Fallout 3 does have some nice enemies you can battle to as well. There's like super mutants and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to Fallout 4, you can shoot down a lot bigger. It makes you feel a lot more powerful when you're shooting down a vertebrate and making it explode. It just feels like you're a mighty warrior of the wasteland. It feels nice. It feels good, Fallout 4. It makes you feel a little bit more powerful. Also, when it comes to VATs as well, I think Fallout 3 gives you a lot more leeway. I mean, because it actually pauses the time. That's quite nice when you're playing Fallout 3. It brings you into that universe and seeing what VATs are. It does that quite nicely. With Fallout 4, it's a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more dangerous. Basically, it doesn't stop time. It slows it down. This can be quite interesting when an enemy's actually charging at you, because you're slowing down time and you're seeing that enemy still charge at you. He's just charging at you really slowly. It's like you can see the attack coming. Then next you've got the power armor, which is also a nice thing to wear. It actually feels unlike Fallout 3, which feels like an outfit that you can access and it makes you a little bit more stronger. With Fallout 4, it makes you feel like you've got an armored vehicle that you're driving, and it just feels a little bit more powerful. Plus, you can also do a superhero landing, and I think that's really cool. I think the suit of the power armor in Fallout 4 just wins in every angle compared to Fallout 3. In the next part, we're going to be talking about settings and map, and this is the biggest difference in the game. Fallout 3 feels like a completely destroyed, blown up, you're the last survivors surviving on the world, whereas in Fallout 4, it feels a lot nicer. It's like you're actually progressing. Like there's this place called Diamond City that's actually functioning, and there's its own radio, and it feels nice. It feels really cool, and I like that. But it's too nice. See, when it comes to Fallout, I like the everything is destroyed feel, and that feels a lot more dangerous to me. Also, that makes Megaton, the place that is safe, it feels like that's a lot more valuable to keep alive. Whereas in Fallout 4, you can make settlements, and you can have settlements here, right there, left, right, and center, and you can bring people to those settlements to start your own community and build it how you want to build. It feels like it's getting to the rebuilding stage of humanity, like humanity is actually progressing and getting back to where they want to be. Whereas in Fallout 3, everything's all destroyed, and you know what? That's brilliant. I love that. I love that everything feels destroyed, and I just like the fact that wherever you go, there's just destruction in your path. And if we have to move on next to the map, I'd like to say that the Pip-Boy is roughly the same in both games here. I think Fallout 4 looks a lot cleaner, but only slightly. I mean, the map pretty much works the same in both games, and you can see that whenever you look onto your wrist. I will add though, in Fallout 4, there is a plus because you can access the map a little bit differently because it acts as your sensor in the power armor, which is very nice. So when you're wearing power armor, you access the map just a little bit different. It feels like you're Iron Man inside that little zone, And I like that feel. It's a good feel. Anyway, we'll move on to the next bit. And the next bit is lockpicking and hacking. When it comes to these games, they are both the same. Fallout 4 looks a lot nicer. That's because it came out in 2015 compared to Fallout 3, which came out in 2008. So it was a little bit more limited on what you could put into a game. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. With lockpicks, you wriggle the lock until you find the right spot and unlock the door. And when it comes to hacking, you're trying to find the right access word. All you have to do is use the symbols to get rid of the wrong words and then also gain lives using those symbols as well. But basically, it's a word game. Both games are pretty much the same. It's just Fallout 4 looks a little bit nicer. Now, when it comes to this next part, which is the game introduction, I think Fallout 3 does it a lot better. I'll explain why. Personally, I think growing up into the Fallout world just works very, very nice. You're born, you have your first birthday, you have your 10th birthday, you have your 16th exam, and it just works. Everything in this game just works. You experience the introduction to this world practically from birth. Every part of the character's history is displayed before you. You are the character, and it's never done better than Fallout 3, in my opinion. In Fallout 4, you are this character that went to war, and then you have to go into a vault. You go through the 200 years, and you come out experience what happened. But your character has backstory. In Fallout 3, I think it does it a lot better, and this is personally down to my opinion only. It's mainly because you are the backstory, you are the character. There's no lore about who you were or what you worked as before because you're there from birth, and it's really clever how they've done it. I think it does it a lot better, but then again, there might still be some people who prefer Fallout 4. I just think Fallout 3 is a lot better when it comes to the game introduction. Now, when it comes to dialogue options in both games, I think both games do it quite well, but they are very, very different in their own right. I think Fallout 3 gives you a lot more versatility in options on what stuff you want to speak. So you actually have to read through different dialogue options, and then you have to select which one you want to say. And because there's a lot of options, that means there's not going to be any voiced characters. So you'll be able to read very long dialogue options, and you'll be able to choose exactly what you want to reply, which is very, very nicely done. Now, when you move over to Fallout 4, I think it's done good as well. However, it's just a little bit more filtered. There is only 4 options every time you talk to anyone or less, and you have to choose up, left, right, or down, and it will only show you like a couple of words, and then the character will actually speak. Now, this is a nice thing to make the character speak. I like that, but it's just a little bit limited on you're not quite sure what the character is going to say because you're just choosing kind of what you want the direction of the character to say. So whereas Fallout 3 is you're fully in control, which is brilliant, and I love it. Fallout 4 is more of the direction of what you want the character to say. Both games do it nice, and it works for each game individually. And I don't think you could do what Fallout 3 did to Fallout 4, but I think you could do something similar. Maybe you should give us more sections of what to say before the character says it. Personally, I like Fallout 3 a lot better. There's more control over what the character says. It makes the game that bit more interesting, and I love it for that. However, I don't think the dialogue options in Fallout 4 should be completely chucked out. I feel like they do have a place in Bethesda games, but in my own opinion, I feel like that would have worked better for things like Starfield and all that. Anyway, which game do you think is better, and tell me why? Which one has the edge over for you? For me, I kind of like Fallout 3 a lot better than Fallout 4, but that's just because there's a lot more dialogue options. I think dialogue is the one that wins for me. But what is your choice? What do you prefer? Do you prefer Fallout 3 or do you prefer Fallout 4? Make your decision in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.